Welcome back to the ThePirateRagnar MotoVlog channel, guys. We got some work today. Alright, well, we got a little mission today, and that is to go pick up a piece of equipment that will actually make cleaning, things like that, a little bit more practical or doable without having to outsource it. So, got to drive down to Surrey today and pick up an old sandblasting cabinet that a gentleman wants to get rid of. It looks pretty hefty. Alright, so that's that. I just met a really interesting gentleman. The guy that I bought this off of. He was a fireman for years. He collects some of that stuff, so I'm going to keep my eyes open for old fire extinguishers and stuff that he's interested in. Doubt I'll ever see anything now that he's asked me. But he had a 37 Ford that he completely restored himself. And just really cool. Really cool guy. So, but the most important thing is I got myself a sandblasting cabinet. Hoorah. This is our new, well, it's a sandblast cabinet right now, but we're going to turn it into a vapor blasting cabinet. One of the really frustrating things online right now is that there's actually quite a few guys who have made successful conversions, like DIY conversions out there. But they seem to have employed a model of commercializing it, which it's up to them, it's their call. But they take down their videos where they actually show you how to make it, and then they try and sell you an ebook. So I'm not going to buy an ebook. I figure I should be able to figure out how to build one from basic principle of everything. And I'll make lots of mistakes, and we'll all get to learn from it. So this isn't really going to be a DIY kind of step-by-step thing, though I will make sure, maybe I'll write a blog or something to make sure everyone knows how to do it. I just want you guys to, be able to enjoy the vintage bikes out there. Know that if you find one and you want to restore it yourself, you're not going to have to pay, hundreds and hundreds of dollars every single time you need to get an engine cleaned or something like that. So that's one thing that I want to start looking at today, kind of inspect it, see what modifications we're going to need to make and what other items I'm going to need to buy, because there's a couple of other things. And then the other thing I want to do, this might be a bit, the light is a little shitty in here right now, but I do want to pull all of the valves from the 750. So that's it. Those are the two things that we're going to get done today. And let's just get right into it. I guess I'll need to find out if I have any reason to keep the squirrel cage fan on there. Let's empty this out then. I have to... Right, so it goes all the way down to the bottom. So we'll also want to do, like, re-caulk everything, just to make sure that it's nice and waterproof. And yeah, figure out those two spots there. That's the primary mission right now. Alright, well, while we wait for the cabinet to dry, what?
You suck.
She's eating. But this is also my workbench right now, so we're just gonna roll with that. So, I have to get the valves out. I don't have a valve. What are they called? Like a valve extraction tool, but I'm not thinking of the right name right now, but I don't have one anyway. So I was gonna use the old trick of just kind of tapping them out with the socket and a magnet, but I can't find my tiny little magnet. This is the smallest magnet I can find. just it's kind of difficult to fit that inside a socket. So we're gonna see if we can figure out a different way of doing this. I have an idea. It might work. Here's my idea. Well, first I have to get all of the shims out. Alright, that's all the shims out. So those two little crescent shapes there are the little captive, I guess, shims. My vocabulary sucks today. This is the retainer to hold the spring in. Those little crescent things are the little shims that hold that retainer plate at the very top of the valve. So what we need to do is compress these a little bit so that retaining clips can loosen and then fall out. That's the idea. One of the tricks that you can do with it is you can place over a socket like that and then just essentially tap it with a rubber mallet or kind of hammer. If you have a little tiny magnet that you've placed in there, then it will tend to just grab those. I don't have the magnet though. Any predictions, babe?
I wasn't listening.
Let's just try the old-fashioned way. See if we can get lucky with some of these. Oh, there we go. So there's the two little retainer clips that I was talking about. And then you have the external spring, and you also have an internal spring here. And then if we can get down in there, you'll see that the valve seal is right down there as well. And now that we've done this, we have a valve that moves freely, and we can pull out and clean and do all that stuff. So we basically have to do this 23 more times. And then there's the process of actually pulling those out, because you have to pull out the valve seal. So yeah, now that we kind of know this works, what I'm gonna do is collect everything I need, like some containers to put everything in, some bags and whatnot, and then we'll just get underway. The one valve seems to be stuck, so I don't want to go hitting it and tapping it, because there's no point in risking damage to it when probably just some penetrating oil is going to resolve the issue, and I just need to let it sit for a little bit. So we're going to do that, spray it down top and bottom with some penetrating oil. Then I have to work out the easiest way of getting the valve seals off, because they're down in there. It's actually they're not all that accessible. So I'll figure out, these ones can be damaged technically, because I'm just taking them off. I just want to make sure that I don't damage the boot underneath it. So that's the the seal that I have to take off is just sitting on the end of that little spike, and then the little ring at the bottom there. So I need to take all those out and keep track of them because I don't want to lose them.
A few moments later.
Fueled up, and the valve has been sitting in penetrating oil for a while now, so I'm going to bring it back in and see if we can get it to budge. So what I want to see is a little bit of movement from that guy. I want to tap him back because that can't really hurt. Spin it now. Hopefully I can work out any grit that's stopping it from. There we go. I want to keep this one separate. It was stuck, and I really need to inspect this one more closely to see if it sustained any damage. Either from my extracting it, like tapping on it, needs to be perfectly straight still. Or if the reason it was stuck is because it's somehow damaged. Sometimes, especially if they get just slightly bent, just the tiniest little bit, then when they're actually in the slide, which is machined to be, you know, just a very, the tiniest bit of allowance, then it's the part in the middle where the bend is effectively that makes it really difficult to slide in and out. So we'll have to see what it is. That's all of that. The only thing that needs to come out now are the spark plugs, but those will come out easy enough. They're not stuck or anything. But progress. So the next thing now that all of that is sorted out is I want to go and take a look quickly at the vapor blasting cabinet. So hopefully it's had some time to dry and we can take a look at exactly what modifications we need to make. So a little dried out now. It's pretty good. So definitely this spot right here I'm wanting to use for cameras so I can kind of record the process. Alright, so here we're going to put in at least one LED floodlight, but hopefully two. I'll just kind of have them pointed like this. And they'll be outdoor rated, so they'll be waterproof. And then we'll come right out to the bucket that has the water pump in it to mix the slurry. And the hoses will come straight up back through here, up to this side, and then the air will still come in here. Why not? So I only need a tiny little air hose. There's not really much needed in terms of modification. The only thing that's really sucks about this thing is it's so heavy duty that they've made the window really quite small, and it's quite beat up. I'll see what I can do to clear out that window. Yeah, visibility may be an issue, and if that's the case, then we'll just get rid of this thing entirely and just put some like Lexan or something right there that can easily be replaced. Otherwise, everything just needs to have some rather a lot of silicone caulking to make sure that it's all sealed up. And like I said, I'm going to definitely go through the gloves and try and wax up the sleeves so that they're effectively all rubber. They've already been patched, as you can see, so they're not brand new by a long shot, but they look to be in really good condition, and the gloves themselves are in fine condition, quite fine. So yeah, I think it was a good purchase. There's just quite a few things that we still need to buy. So I have to get the water pump. I have to get an air compressor because I don't have an air compressor. It has to be a pretty big one. So air compressor, water pump. The nozzle itself, I can try and customize one, but I don't have a lathe. So it makes it really difficult to do the kind of fine work. So thank you guys once more for joining me here on another Wrenching Wednesday. Just remember, vintage doesn't come cheap. It comes at a heck of a lot of elbow grease. So make sure that you're doing the work that you need. Drop some comments down there. Let me know what projects you guys are working on. I'm really, really interested. Yeah, I just got the two right now. It's a CB450 and a CB750, but there's so many makes and models out there. I'm really curious what you guys are doing, and you know, what are you trying to make out of it? Are you going for just a full normal restoration? Are you making a bobber out of it? Are you know, turning it into a scrambler, a cafe racer? I'm really curious. Drop a line below. Let me know what you guys are doing. So until then, ride safe and ride fun, and I will see you guys on the next video.